Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Goldilocks got lost in the forest, because once again her GPS was thrown off by babbling streams. She came upon an abandoned cottage and decided it was the perfect place to squat for the night. Once inside though, she realized it wasn't abandoned after all, and indeed, was likely an Airbnb, based on all the bowls of welcome gruel. She was starving, and decided to eat the biggest bowl of porridge first. After one spoonful, she said, "This porridge is too hot." She ate a spoonful from the second bowl. "This porridge is too cold." She then ate a spoonful from the smallest bowl. The slop was tepid and runny, and appeared to be a lap pool for 3 dead flies. Yum, this is just right. As is the way when one eats lukewarm slop very fast, Goldilocks instantly felt tired. Yawning, she walked down a corridor and found a room with 3 beds in it. She lay on the biggest one but quickly squirmed in annoyance. This feels like a factory second. She then climbed onto the medium-sized bed, immediately tossing and turning. These sheets have a low thread count. I am not a peasant. Finally, she lay on the tiniest bed. The mattress reeked of both salmon and pea. Ah, just right. Meanwhile, unbeknownst to a sleeping Goldilocks, a dual-income, 3-mammal family arrived at the cottage. It was clear that they were glass-half-empty kind of folks, because they instantly started whining about the breakfast spread. "Someone's been eating my porridge," said Papa Bear. "Someone's been eating my porridge," said Mama Bear. "Someone's been eating my porridge," said Baby Bear, "and it's all gone." Papa Bear could feel his blood boil. He cursed himself for not taking out home and contents insurance. I wonder what the replacement value would have been on those oats. "Keep calm," his wife soothed. "Remember, the doctor just put you on statins for your blood pressure." He nodded. "You're right. I need to calm down." Checking his pulse, he said, "I think it's best if we hibernate." His wife's expression changed from concern to fury. "Stuff your blood pressure. We just got out of that room. Bad enough I had to do a double season of Hibee with you during the pandemic. But darling, my blood pressure is through the roof. Do you want me to have a heart attack?" To avoid the awkwardness of saying yes, she instead replied in another language, "Ja." Baby Bear chimed in with C. Clueless, Papa Bear said, "Oh, thank you, you guys." Mama Bear and Baby Bear looked at each other quizzically as they followed Papa Bear to the bedroom. Once there, to everyone's utter surprise, they saw a human girl sleeping in the smallest bed. "What the?" said Papa Bear. "I think there's a human on the menu for breakfast." None of them particularly liked consuming humans. Aussies had a Vegemite aftertaste, the British were soaked in tea, and the Americans had heavy notes of burger. Still, it was quicker than Uber Eats. Papa Bear turned to his wife and said, "She looks British. Grab some ketchup to drown out the Earl Grey." Goldilocks woke up when she heard the word ketchup, because she was a real fan of tomato-based sauces. But, she wasn't a fan of angry bears, and there were 3 standing right in front of her. "I can explain," she said, putting her hands up in surrender. "There was likely a double booking on Airbnb. We can submit feedback. They have a solid internal complaint handling process." The bears were furious now, because they'd never had much success with support tickets. "Okay, fine," she said, sliding out of the bed. "I'll leave and I'll check into a Best Western. They don't have pillow mints, but I'll let that go." With that, she made a dash. Normally Goldilocks wouldn't have been a match for 3 bears, but thankfully she'd taken parkour lessons from a squirrel, while lost in the woods. She somersaulted over the furry mammals, bounced off the wall and then jumped effortlessly through the window. They were all stunned. Goldilocks landed stealthily in a crouching position. She turned back, smiled, and was gone with the wind. Being gluten intolerant, she really did have wind, and the small explosions served to blast her away. "Those farts are foul," said Papa Bear. "I suspect she tastes like haggis." They all agreed that they didn't feel like haggis so early in the morning, maybe if it was lunchtime, or brunch, at a minimum. "I think my blood pressure is okay now," said Papa Bear. "Does this mean we don't have to hibernate?" his wife pleaded. "We don't have to hibernate," he reassured. "We can stay awake and party hard with the salmon." "Ja," said Mama Bear. "See," said Baby Bear. And they all lived happily ever after.